Yeah, I was trying to follow you, but you're losing me.
Next time you're talking with someone who doesn't think it's a problem that more and more of the nation's wealth and income are going to the top.
You have to find a way that you encourage the rich to get richer, because in getting richer, they create opportunities for the poor.
Mention these 7 economic fundamentals. Number 1, workers are consumers. Number 2, consumer spending accounts for 70% of all economic activity in the United States. Number 3, people at the top spend a much smaller portion of their incomes than people in the middle class and below. Number 4, so when most of the economic gains go to the top, there's not enough purchasing power to keep the economy moving. Number 5, which means that in order to have sufficient demand for goods and services, a larger share of total income has to go to the middle class and the poor. Number 6, which requires a higher minimum wage, a bigger earned income tax credit, lower taxes on the middle class and the poor, financed by higher taxes on the wealthy, and stronger unions capable of negotiating higher wages. 7, these don't hurt the wealthy. It's not a zero-sum game. In fact, the wealthy will do better with a smaller share of a rapidly growing economy than they're doing now with a large share of an economy that's barely growing at all. These are the 7 economic fundamentals.
I must stop you here. I was trying to follow you, but you're losing me. Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
The withdrawal of the claim was of such obvious public importance and controversy because it was announced by the Attorney General himself, not Petrogen, which is a bit odd. The Attorney General, as you'll see from the press statement, uniquely referred himself to the Law Association for his handling of the case. Why on earth would you do that? The Petrotrin is a state-owned company and a major employer spending and losing public money. And one point which you haven't been told of because Mr. Ramrod is, but I'll fill this in, is Petrogen has now fired all its staff. It was one of the largest employers in Trinidad. 6,000 staff were fired, which for Trinidad is a huge loss. And all of this was a direct consequence of the financial mismanagement which resulted in this litigation, or this litigation concerns. It is naturally a very real concern for people in Trinidad. More specifically, people are asking themselves, why was a claim to recover £97 million of public money withdrawn? What was the justification for that? And that's made worse when the failed project caused Petrotrin to lose US $3.3 billion in losses and led to the collapse to which I just referred. That, for Trinidad, is big money.
Hi, my name is Gary Aboud. I am the Corporate Secretary of Fishermen and Friends of the Sea, Trinidad and Tobago. We went under the Freedom of Information to the Ministry of Energy and we got the exact data. For 4 years, Petrotrin did not rely on government subventions. So 2016, 17, 18, Petrotrin were not given 1 penny from central government. But yet the Prime Minister and members of his cabinet kept speaking about Petrotrin like that they were going to sink the national economy, saying that if they were kept going, they would lose $2 billion a year.
The government is not closing down Petrotrin. And in case you were just opening your fridge and you didn't hear that when you closed the door, let me repeat it. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
Dr. Rowley said the single payment of a US $850 million bond, which matures in August 2019, plus the $700 million that the company is due to repay shortly after, was the basis on which he knew decisive action on Petrotrin's future could no longer be put off.
In short, the Petrotrin fix was always seen to be bad for politics, and even one's political survival. But we have arrived at a place now where its ongoing failure threatens the national survival. The refining assets of Petrotrin can now be put in a separate company for opportunity attention. The OWTU will be given the first option to own and operate it if they wish.
So when people talk about Petrotrin bringing in US dollars, that is a completely false narrative. It was not a net earner of foreign exchange. It was draining the country's reserves.
But then, if that were true, and Dr. Rowley's statements were genuine, then why is there no evidence of any subvention to keep the company afloat in 2016, 17, and 18? And when they were paid in 2019, $1.2 billion from the Ministry of Finance, that was specifically to pay severance. So, are we being run by a government with integrity? Is the public interest being served by officers duly elected who are concerned about the welfare of the least privileged, or are they ambitiously seeking to become the most privileged? These are serious questions, and for those of you who listen to our presentation, I beg you to answer in your heart and in your conscience. When you go to the hospital and see sick people waiting 10 hours, how do you feel? When you go to take a bus and the bus doesn't come, how do you feel? When you drive on the road and you break your axle because the road isn't repaired, when you see WASA paying $1.5 million a day for salt water, desalinated water, and you see so much leaks, how do you feel? When you see a Prime Minister passing legislation that himself and the President should be paid their full salary for the duration of their lives as pension, but everybody else gets less, how do you feel? When you are lied to and have to pay triple for the price of oil and gas, when we had a company that could have produced and exported and kept our economy on a robust and vibrant status, how do you feel? When you see a private company that is secret, that no one knows who the owners are, making $400 and $500 million a year selling oil and gas to ships, profits that should have been going to the national treasury, how do you feel? When the application for that company was made 6 months before Petrotrin closed, when the applicants, Dr. Rowley's close friend, would not have known or should not have known of the planned closure of Petrotrin. When you are lied to and told that Petrotrin is sinking the economy, when for 3 consecutive years not a penny was paid in subventions, how do you feel? Well, for me, I feel like everybody's going to want to give me licks because they're going to say I should keep quiet, don't interfere with the big wigs, they will kill me, they will shoot me. But I feel sad when I see children fighting that don't have proper education, when I see people suffering, pensioners, when I see the Blind Welfare Association underfunded, PAVI, I don't feel good, I don't feel proud, I don't feel patriotic. And I call on you to say something, speak about this video, share this video. Thank you for listening.
What has happened is this. Paria or their team have been asked to provide a number of documents over a period of time. During the course of this weekend and as late as 4 o'clock this morning, we were provided with what is on any view hundreds and hundreds of pages. It looks what the Americans call a document dump. This, handed to us in the course halfway through this inquiry, when we had been seeking this material for months, so that there could be no misunderstanding about it.
This inquiry was announced on the 22nd of April of this year. It is inconceivable that those who are responsible for providing material to this inquiry could not have appreciated that this material was likely to be relevant. We get it this weekend, notwithstanding the fact that we have asked for it on numerous occasions. On the 19th of July, we wrote to Paria asking for all the material that they were obliged to provide. That's ignoring the fact that they already must have appreciated for a period of 3 months that they were likely to need to provide this material. On the 6th of September, they asked for and were granted standing so that the lawyers who are now here, and I don't in any way hold them responsible for this, they will know what inquiries have or have not been made. And this is not intended to upbraid anybody. I'm simply making the observation. On the 6th of September of this year, they asked for and were granted standing. So the lawyers from that date became involved. Rule 16 makes it absolutely clear that they must provide, that is, their clients must provide everything in their possession and control having any bearing on the subject matter of this inquiry. Clearly, they did not, since we got this over the weekend. That was followed by a specific request about this very material on the 8th of November, when we wrote to them asking for it to be provided by the 11th of November, bearing in mind where we were in relation to this inquiry. Nothing happened. On the 11th of November, they asked for an extension. They were granted an extension to the 17th of November. On the 15th of November, they sought a further application for a further extension. They got a further extension to the 22nd of November. On the 22nd of November, having promised to give it to us, they didn't. On the 23rd of November, when they promised to give it to us, they didn't. On the 24th of November, when we wrote to them asking them where is it, we were promised we would get it the next day. We didn't. On Sunday, the 4th, they indicated they were putting together their ICT records to send to us by email. They didn't. Today, or rather on the 6th, I should say, we asked once again and we were told that we would get it by that Friday. They did not provide it. So what we have is the very first time we got anything from them at all in relation to this was during the course of Friday. We got nothing further on Saturday, and we got more on Sunday, and I still don't know if we have it all. This is not acceptable. I will not permit our legal team, or indeed any of the other legal teams, to have to present their cases half-cocked. Because that's where we are at the moment, because I haven't been able to read it, Mr. Wilson hasn't been able to read it, and most of our team, notwithstanding their best efforts, have not been able to assimilate or read it. We can't provide it to everybody else because it needs redacting. There are phone numbers and names and things like that that are in there. So it's not right that the other teams should not have this material before principal witnesses from Paria are called.
FM 104.7.
You must develop a sense of self-reliance. You must develop a sense of confidence. And you must know and remember that parliamentarians are your servants and that you are the lords of the land. And so I ask you to put your hand on your heart, every one of you, and shout after me, I am the government. Louder, I am the government. I am the government.
We must make government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
The people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid.
Because PNM had enough time to put Lavantie and all these places like Diego Martin, all these places in a certain order for the amount of years the People's National Movement, all of us talking about, all of us talking writing, Look at the kind of places that support the People's National Movement in this country for donkey years. What all do with we? What all do with all the supporters?
is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God.
Come on, everybody, get your feet happy. Let's go. Come on. Where my islanders? Can some of y'all run down here to the front real quick? I gotta know who's in the building. Where my islanders? I need y'all to run down here. Come on, let me see ya. Come on, Jehovah, say it. Jehovah, you. Say it. I trust in you. In you. Say it, y'all. Oh, Lord. Jehovah. Jehovah, you. I trust. Say it. I trust. Show me how to do it, y'all. In you. I believe. Say it, say it. I believe you. I trust. I trust. Come on. In you. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Come on. Jehovah, you. Where y'all at? Come on, come on. I trust in you. I believe, say it. I believe. You are the God of miracles. You are the God of miracles. You are the God of wonder. You are the God of wonder. You are the God all powerful. You are the God all powerful. I believe, say it. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe. Say it, y'all. I believe. Come on. Come on, everybody, get your feet happy. Let's go. Come on. Where my islanders? Can some of y'all run down here to the front real quick? I gotta know who's in the building. Where my islanders? I need y'all to run down here. Come on, let me see ya. Come on, Jehovah, say it. Jehovah, you. Say it. I trust in you. In you. Say it, y'all. Oh, Lord. Jehovah. Jehovah, you. I trust. Say it. I trust. Show me how to do it, y'all. In you. I believe. Say it, say it. I believe you. I trust. I trust. Come on. In you. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Come on. Jehovah, you. Where y'all at? Come on, come on. I trust in you. I believe, say it. I believe. You are the God of miracles. You are the God of miracles. You are the God of wonder. You are the
whatever I need, He'll provide. If I only keep the faith, oh, I know He'll make a way. You see, I'm next in line, I know. Let me sing. I'm next in line for my blessings. Tell somebody, I'm next in line, I know. I won't complain. Soon He's oh yes, I'm next in line, I know. I took my burdens and I laid them at His feet. I know my needs He'll supply. Under His wings, oh, I'm gonna hide. You see, I'm next in line, I know. I'm next in line for my blessings. Whatever it is, I'm next. I don't know what you need, but He knows everything. I won't complain. I know He's gonna come and I'm next in line. Give Him the praise today. Don't complain. You see, sometimes it may seem like I can't make it over, but I'm gonna wait. Yes, I'm gonna wait until my change come. He may not come when I call Him, but He's always going over there, yeah. Said I'm going over there, yeah. I'm going there. I'm going over there, yeah. I'm going over there. Coming for me. not too long ago. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being everything you said you would be. For just being true.
What's up? Number one, there's two.
Thank you for being
You must develop a sense of self-reliance. You must develop a sense of confidence. And you must know and remember that parliamentarians are your servants and that you are the lords of the land. And so I ask you to
Thank you for being you.
You know why? Tell them why, y'all.
You've been good. You've been kind. In a world full of trouble, you've been my peace of mind. With my heart, with my voice, I will offer up a sacrifice of praise.
Oh, and continue
for the rest of my days.
Oh, said I want to say thank you.
For being you.
Oh, Lord, thank you. Being everything you said you would be.
For just remaining.
I don't take it for granted. Thank you.
Thank you for being
you. We say it one more time. Come on. One more time. Tell them.
You've been good.
You've been kind. World full of trouble. You've been mine. With my hand lifted high. I present my body.
A living sacrifice.
By your mercy and your grace. I'm justified. And I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Being everything you said you would be. I don't take him for granted. Thank you for being. And again, thank you for being you. Oh, from the bottom of my heart. Everything you said you would be. Oh, just remain. I don't take it for granted. Thank you. Wanna say thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Who is like him, a lion and the lamb, seated on the throne. Mountains bow down, every ocean roars to the Lord of hosts. Praise Adonai, from the rising of the sun to the end of every day. Praise Adonai, all the nations of the earth, all the angels and the saints sing praise. Who is like him, the lion and the lamb, seated on the throne? Mountains bow down, every ocean roars to the Lord of hosts. Praise Adonai, from the rising of the sun to the end of every day. Praise Adonai, all the nations of the earth, all the angels and the saints sing praise.
time I need the Lord, I sure need him now. I need him when the sun goeth down.
Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me. And I will open up my heart, let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands. For I will always sing of when your love came down. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love. Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me. And I will open up my heart and let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands. For I will always sing of when your love came down, yeah.
I could sing of your love forever.
I could sing
of your love forever.
of your love
I could sing of your love forever.
forever.
I could sing of your love forever.
I could sing of your love, sweet love, forever. Oh, I feel like dancing, and it's foolishness, I know. But when the world has seen the light, they will dance with joy like we're dancing now.
I could sing of your love
forever.
I could sing of your love forever.
Your sweet love,
I could sing of your love forever.
I could sing
of your love forever.
Oh, I feel like dancing, and it's foolishness, I know. But when the world has seen the light, they will dance with joy like we're dancing now.
I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love.
I could sing of your love
I could sing of your love forever.
through the day,
I could sing
through
of
the
your
night,
love
till I'm out of breath,
I could sing
till I'm out of time.
forever.
I could sing
of your love forever. I could sing of your love
forever and ever. I could sing through the day, through the night, till I'm out of breath, till I'm out of time. I could sing of your love.
Because PNM had enough time to put Laventille and all these places like Diego Martin, all these places in a certain order for the amount of years the People's National Movement, all of us talking about, all of talk the right thing, Look at the kind of places that support the People's National Movement in this country for donkey years. What all they do with we? What all they do with all the supporters?
The Honorable Minister of Works and Transport said the Point 14 highway is the biggest stain and corruption in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Even though this PNM government has paid $11 million for a commission of inquiry that has started, If they even start, they're not even on your marks. They may even go down, but $11 million gone. But the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport had the unmitigated gall to say that the Point 14 highway
which the contractor was selected by the PNM OAS before May 24th, and negotiations based on the Hansard of the Honorable Member for Diego Martin Northeast back in 2016 would show the negotiations with the contractor that began in January and they completed in a week. Somebody else will deal with that. I don't have time to deal with that. However, I must address the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport, the biggest corruption, and his Honorable Prime Minister used a very vile term. He said it was a rape of the country. I mean, that's a Prime Minister. I don't even know why he likes to use that word or what he knows about that word. But let me ask the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport if he ever heard of something called the Brian Lara Stadium. That was budgeted at $175 million and ended up at $1.3 billion. That was, the entire complex was budgeted at $850 million under the PNM to include a cricket stadium, 3 AstroTurf, a 50-meter pool, gym, cafeteria, hotel. And now the stadium alone, the average cost per seat is $130,000 US per seat. Every citizen that go there to watch a CPL match should look under their seat and see if they get a diamond ring from that PNM. And they're talking about corruption. What about we still looking for the horse and them in Caroni Racing Complex? Where the horse and them? I want to put a bet. You talking about the greatest corruption? Caroni Racing Complex, over $200 million, when $1 million was $1 million. If you equate that to nowadays, like $1.6 billion, and not a horse run, a horse even canter. Bridgeman's NGC Atlantic train won $233 million when everybody tell you to spend no money, and you talking about corruption. Scarborough Hospital, the financial complex, fake oil. Just so a man say, listen, I was producing 200 barrels a day, now I gone up to 12,000 barrels a day. Woo, they come and boast in the parliament. Well, if that was true with the fake oil, then their former senatorial colleague and Rowley's best friend should have been the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister's best friend, should have been given all the land acreage in Trinidad to drill for oil since he was so good. Why did it? If it was not fake, if it was high performance, I believe in merit. If a man and his company and his technology is so good to increase the production on an oil field by 600, 800%, I say game on, because the people will benefit. And in the United National Congress, we are here about the people benefiting, not recusal, not ministers renting out buildings, not friends and family and financiers getting $55 million because a building not fit for purpose and then blaming the DPP. Project Pride, $400 million. Where the Pride? The river even moved. It was to move a river to put an airport. They had no airport. The river bend and the $400 million disappear. But they talking about corruption. PNM really.
Senator, you have 5 more minutes.
Good. I can't talk about PNM corruption in 5 minutes. BWIA, Lock Joint, Monto, Tesoro, Mosquito Crack, Skinner Park, $131 million to move a FIFA football field down to a small sweat. Napa, Sapa, Shaw Park Complex, Rapid out of punch. I nearly get asthma with that. Rapid Rail, that Honorable Minister of Finance was the Minister of Works and Transport during that period when somehow the Honorable Prime Minister and member for San Fernando East, Patrick Movin Augustus Manning, was put on a plane, a Bombardier jet, and just so the Express found out where he went, how they fly, what he ate, and so on. And then there was something called Trinitrain that was below Bombardier, but the Prime Minister went on a Bombardier jet, and boom, Trinitrain Consortium came up to win. Do you know that Trinitrain Consortium, part thereof, was paid $481 million for a feasibility study to say, boy, what the train, if it go move, what speed it should move, where it should pass, how it will go, should it go up or should it go down? $481 million. And this PNM government has the audacity to talk about corruption. What about the 4 vessels that they purchased when the Minister of Finance was then Minister of Works and Transport that never sail a day? and they spend 65 million to try and fix it. They all tie up there and four of them sink, one holding up the next three. And then Iowa want to buy it, you win a tender, then they say nothing for you, Iowa. That is the PNM. Central Block, they finish a beautiful building. I must say the building is beautiful. Around the Savannah, the administrative complex for people who manage the healthcare system. Now you can't get a Panadol. You can't get your oncology drugs. You can't get dialysis. You're sleeping in the hallway. When rain fall in the hospital, orderly taking nurse on the back and pushing wheelchair. But PNM built a beautiful building. Now it has no parking, but it's sweet. It's lovely. But when you look past it, you look about 600 meters so and you look up, you see a shell that there the chairman said will be complete by February next year, but nothing in it, just some red steel that looks similar to the steel by Balize House, and they're talking about corruption. Central Block, nothing for the people, but building going up with favorite contractor, World GTL, and Nikwan, I don't have no time now. World GTL, Malcolm Jones, lawyer is the Honorable Stuart Young. Let me just put a small pin right here to say that Nikwan fiasco is the most corruption in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, and PNM should never be talking. And it now embroils one of the greatest banks in the history of the Caribbean. It now involves Republic Bank, because 100 and somehow Nikwan, however you want to pronounce it, was able to get $120 million US loan on assets that were questionable. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are now holding the PNM bag because ministerial gas went to it. The assets were sold to Nikwan for 10 million US cash and 25 million in preference shares. Well, we prefer not to have the shares because the shares are worth nothing. That is PNM, and them have the audacity to come and talk about corruption with a road that exists, that a road that people could drive on, that people could move and reach. That is PNM. Las Alturas, Renaissance, Tobago, 120. I like race, swimming, football, running race, anything. I even like race because I is a Dogra, Indian African. But then build $120 million goat race track and talking about corruption. Once a year, some goat hold it and run down there. They just go and dance and play crab race. $120 million, and this PNM have the audacity to talk about corruption. I'm running out of time, but what I would tell you is, the PNM, they mismanaged Petrotrin, the people fired, people have to pay. They mismanaged the NIS, people now who was looking to retire, they say, boy, band your belly and work harder. They mismanaged NGC, no big thing, that's a blot. They'll make back that, says the Honorable Minister of Energy. They mismanaged the economy, they increased taxes and say, we didn't take everything from all you. They mismanage the foreign exchange, they come and tell you it's greater demand. When there is no demand greater than it has been in the last 20 years, it is a supply problem from their mismanagement. They mismanage roads and drainage, people suffer in flood. They mismanage roads and drainage, people in gridlock. People can't stick in sinkhole. PNM changed the word pothole to sinkhole. PNM created a new level and category of pothole. They mismanage the government and people pay by negative impact of crime. They even mismanage wardrobe and a prime minister to be in Canada in a tracksuit. Thank you, Mr. President.
Dear Trinidad and Tobago, so I'm sorry it took so long to get to Trinidad is a Crown Nation Part 3, but I figured it's best I wait till Emperor Imsbatine gave his shocking budget to the Trinidad and Tobago community. And after listening to the whole budget, I had come to a conclusion based on some research that I was doing. I was trying to figure out, why do people vote in Trinidad and Tobago? And I came to a conclusion based on some scenarios that I was putting out into the public domain. So normally when I highlight issues in the community that I lived in, most of the time the people, they don't really rally behind the issue as much. And I found it strange that they wouldn't do it. The roads would have issues, their water supply would have issues. And I was trying to figure out why. And this is where we have a mixture of Indo and Afro-Trini people, but more Indo-Trinbagonians living there. And I got to notice that what they did was they put themselves in a financial bracket where they don't necessarily need to depend on the government so much for certain things. So if the roads in the community are bad, even if I highlight the issue, yeah, it bothers them, but it doesn't bother them as much because they would have now put themselves in a financial space where they have better vehicles or SUVs or vans that they don't feel the impacts on the road as much. If they complain about water, if I said water is an issue, they would have an issue with it, yes, but it doesn't bother them as much because some of them have bought so many water tanks in the yard that they don't even notice when water goes. So I started asking myself, why do they vote? Why do the Indo community vote? And I started to notice that they're excelling in education, they're excelling in land and infrastructure, they're excelling in generational wealth and financing, but they've had the Red House for the least amount of time. They've only had it twice. So I started to think to myself, they vote to complete the pie chart. They don't vote because of the issues that directly affect them. They vote because they are excelling in everything else, and the one thing they don't actually have is the Red House. They've had it the least amount of time, but they're doing exceptionally well for people who have had it the least amount of time. But then I took a look at the Afro community, right, which also has a mixture of Indo but a smaller presence, and I started to notice something. I was like, what do we vote for? And I noticed that in our communities, we would complain about the roads being bad. We would feel it more because we don't have as much vehicles or better vehicles to sustain ourselves on the road. So when we hit a pothole or something, we feel it more. We would complain about water because we don't have as much water tanks, or in some cases no water tanks at all, so that when things go wrong in our communities, we feel it more and we voice it more, and our issue is echoed on a larger stage, but it still doesn't get resolved. And I started looking at our chart and I noticed some similarities where we failing in education, we failing in land and infrastructure, we failing in generational wealth, but we've held the Red House the longest. And I sat down and I watched that, and I paid attention to those two charts that I made. We were not excelling in anything on the Afro-based side. Well, unless probably crime. But we've held the Red House the longest. So I started to think, why do we vote black all the time? What do we do that makes us vote black all the time? And I came to a conclusion. The reason why we vote black is because of this right here. This individual right here. You see, we have been cultured mentally that if we don't vote based on this individual who was given the nation of Trinidad and Tobago by the Queen, we're not loyal. We're not loyal. He crowns the term the father of the nation. So our generations have been cultured that if we don't vote for this person, we're not loyal. If we don't vote black, we're not loyal. But my question is this: how is voting black helping us win? And the reason why I'm bringing this into space is because in Africa right now, we have leaders who have held positions for years being kicked out of those positions, and governments pushing the white man out of their country to claim back their natural resources and things which would have been sold to other nations by same members of their black community before them. But in our country, we have that same problem. We have two governments that is loyal to a 1% or a contract mafia or whatever you want to call them. But we have the Afro-based government being exceptionally loyal to them. And through the mindset that has been cultured into us to vote this for this person, because if we don't vote based on the father of the nation, we're not loyal. Our government has literally created a pipeline that funnels Afro-based communities, especially the poor ones or the ones that are underprivileged, funnels them into these 1% businesses, from the fast food chains to the security chains to everything. So I found myself wondering, who was that budget for? And I want you to understand this. That budget was rubbish from start to finish. But you see, for the people who enjoy the low income houses that they don't pay rent for, you see the people who dip their finger in red, but the communities are in the poorest, most dilapidated conditions, but they wear the most expensive clothes, the most expensive shoes, drive the most expensive cars, and go all the fetes or every line that keep, but they claim poverty. That budget was for them. That minimum wage does nothing for the average citizen who has to pay $2,000 and $3,000 in rent. That minimum wage, which is really just $130, and by the time NIS and health surcharge come out, you only get $112, went to those people. And those people are the people who has the mindset of not weaning off the government for nothing. The government just swept some crumbs off the table for them, and they're celebrating, they're gobbling it up. And because of that mindset that those people have, we cannot move Trinidad forward. And those are the people who this government, the Afro-based government, depends on to keep them in government, because they lack the intelligence to notice what is wrong with them, and they keep doing the same thing over and over because they are comfortable in their circumstances. The rest of the nation pays for a few people that live in these red zones, that dip their finger for a government over and over because it benefits them to stay in the cultured mindset that the government has put in them, that if they don't vote for anything else, they're not loyal. Make a better version of yourself, Trinidad and Tobago. And I just want to say thanks to my good friend Stephon Rees for being the voice of reason again when I was just fed up and wanted to stop. Thanks again, bro, for being the voice. This is the second time you have been the voice of reason. Once when I had COVID and I was wondering if I was going to die, and now. So again, thank you so much, brother. Trinidad and Tobago, I love each and every one of you. Try and stay safe.